Hello, English 111 students. I am following up on the script which I emailed students. I would like to focus on how to um, understand my notes, and I would encourage you to email your questions and assignments to me so that you can complete English 111 successfully and move on to English 112 if that is a required course for you. In my notes, I have listed three things. The first one is the overview of argumentative writing, the argument essay. Um, Students have not emailed me the draft to ask for questions, so I am happy to answer your questions on any of the papers. Only 2 students posted the visual analysis essay in Canvas and emailed me a copy, so I would encourage you to go back, finish essay 2, and start essay 3 because the 4th paper is here. So that's what English classes do with the essay writing. About every 2 weeks, there's a new assignment. So it is better to submit a bad paper that you're not happy with, but to finish it so that I can give you suggestions, how to improve it, and if you need to, you can do the paper over for a better grade, but a 0 does not average into your course grade very well. So I do encourage you to go back and analyze the image, cite the image. There's only one citation in the works cited page to cover the documentation of your image. It is possible, as we said in class, to find an article with an image, and you can cite the article and have an overview of the controversial issue as well. So I am happy to help you finish essay 2, which is the visual analysis paper. And I am checking Canvas, I am checking my email for your papers, for your questions, so that you can complete this assignment. As an overview of argumentative writing, I did type up some student sentences about driving and texting. And so this is a popular question because states are slowly passing laws about using cell phones in the car. I did focus on a clear question. So if you were to write about texting and driving, you should say that texting while driving should receive the same legal penalties as drinking and driving, or texting while driving should not receive the same penalties as drinking and driving. So in comparison, when we look at driving, the general topic is distracted driving. And so I did find one article about banning phone use while driving, and I created a few questions. Why is using a cell phone while driving dangerous? Should there be a law against using a cell phone while driving? What should the penalty be? And why do people disagree on this topic? And so if you have not had a topic that you can write about for essay 3, students find this a very easy topic to write about. I included my students' sentences, and I call this one way to brainstorm because there are so many side issues when we look at distracted driving. And so if I ask a whole classroom of students to write a few sentences about texting and driving, or if I have a whole set of essays about texting and driving, then I collect a few sentences. This is a good way to brainstorm how you would approach writing about this topic yourself. So again, if you want to do in-class writing, you can write a paragraph. You can make your essay 3 about texting and driving. It is just meant to help you review a controversial issue because people do disagree about many things, and this is a law that has been passed in some localities and may be voted on in the future. I did email students that the argument essay is due. So, I'm waiting for essay 2, essay 3. Technically, a college essay is an hour. And some of my students say they can write it in 30 minutes. So, like I said, it's better to write a bad essay, get it over with, submit it, and then I will give you suggestions about improving the essay. So, you're not expected to be perfect writers without instruction. And it is difficult to have instruction, sit at home, look at your textbook, read my emails, look at the scripts for my videos, look at the articles or information I give you, and to have an understanding of the topics. So we're looking at a complex way to educate ourselves about writing, and I'm trying to assist you as best I can, but I do know it's difficult. For the overview of research writing, I would like to explain your research paper assignment clearly. You are writing an informative essay. And so in the textbooks, there have been there's been more attention on information because in the age of information, we are bombarded with so many facts and ideas. The task is to approach a new topic and make sense or give order or structure to the information. And so many research papers that I have read, it looks like a basket of facts. So you don't want to have your research paper look like a basket of facts. You want it to have a logical structure so that you are delivering specific pieces of information related to your main idea. And so the example of the newspaper article I gave you is how we use information in the society. The man who wrote this article is really supporting his career. And he says people need to play. Play is essential. Play is important. And he does cite academic sources for his claim. He's not a student. He's not writing a research paper, but he is trying to explain to the general public how recreation is necessary. Downtime is necessary. The brain works better with laughter, fun, and recreation. And of course, he built his whole career on that, designing board games, and I did explore him and his presence on the internet. Who is he? How did he build up his company? And why does he think that play is so important? Students usually enjoy this article, so I'm not sure what you will say about it. Okay, so I did give you a little overview of how to analyze the requirements for an informative research paper. You are writing 3 to 5 sources, so quotations or paraphrase or facts from 3 to 5 sources to back up your own idea. It is necessary to consider who your audience is. The best example I was given when I was in teacher training was think about the topic save a whale. If a child is listening and trying to understand save a whale, why are they donating their nickel or their dollar to ecology for species that are disappearing from our world? The information would be very different from addressing an adult. And so if you imagine the audience is starving for your information, Who are they? How much do they know? Why is the information important to them? Then you are feeding the audience the necessary information so that they will be better educated, better informed, and they'll appreciate your information. All right, so here is the article. It is called Let's Play. It was published in Parade magazine, and the writer is Richard Tate. I did find 2 pictures of him. In my print newspaper article, he was a young man with hair, and later he becomes more and more bald, and so his other picture, his curls are gone, and of course he is aging. He's still relatively young compared to, somebody who's 70 or 80. And so the subtitle for the article is Why It's Important to Put the World on Hold and Just Have Fun. And so he is talking about reducing stress, why it is important to relax, why people are so busy, they work too much, especially young families. There is no time for parents and children to relax together. And so he does support his ideas clearly with examples, and he does give suggestions. So there is the element of problem solution in his paper. Get on the carpet, return to your childhood, take it outside, turn off the electronics. And so he has advice for families. He is a father. He is stressed. He does have work. And so he tries to use his job and perspective to help anyone who might just pick up this article and think about his topic. The conclusion is good. It sums up the topic in 4 sentences. I believe that laughter and togetherness are key to our health, growth, and relationships. They're the fabric that holds us together as families. It's up to us to keep them strong and intact. I also believe the world needs more shining moments every day. So come on, let's get on the carpet and play. And so you can clearly see in his title, he says play is important. In his paper, he says play is important. And in his conclusion, he says that this topic is important. It is not exactly an argument, but you can see how some people might think, well, earning money, meeting my requirements, meeting my responsibilities is more important than relaxation, enjoyment, and recreation. And so people have so many things to do that they neglect themselves. So taking care of ourselves is part of relaxing, remembering to have fun, and to build memories with other people, whether it is a family or just friends or acquaintances or neighbors. So I hope you like the article. If I choose to write biography, who is Richard Tate? How did he start a business? What was his business established on? How much the business was worth, and so on. So I did find another article where Paula Bach writes about the company which he founded, which is Cranium. And so if you investigate a business or a person, then this is an informative topic. And so who is he? How did he build his business? Then I found still another article about designing games. It was a 2018 article written by Helensburgh Heroes. And so it gives the new picture, and it says that I believe Dundee is a place in Scotland, came to United States, established a business, and tells you about his education and his background. So if you consider the internet is a source. So I have 3 articles about one man, his career, and his ideas. So this would show that I had done some investigation into a topic. And of course, business is a career focus for many students who major in business. Okay, so the last article says that he sold his business for 77 million. So he built up his business and he was successful. He convinced people that they could entertain themselves by purchasing his games, and he has a philosophy based on play and entertainment and how important it is. So I do want you to remember, finish the visual argument essay, visual analysis essay, write your argument essay, and focus on your research paper. May 6th is the last day for any assignments to be turned in. So I am encouraging you, meet the requirements of English 111. Do a bad job and finish. And so I will help you build up your grade once you write the initial papers. I'll help you rewrite them so that they're better. So give it a try so that you don't have to start back in the summer or in the fall with English 111 again. Okay, so I did put a grammar lesson in. I received a few quizzes and exercises about appositives. We had one quiz on quotation marks, one quiz on sentence structure and punctuation, another quiz on appositives. So the fourth one is, again, semicolons and conjunctive adverbs. And so I did a very brief review in the handout, different ways to connect ideas. And so the more ways you have of expressing your ideas in different types of sentences, the more interesting your writing will be. And so sentence structure is a little bit like math, gluing the pieces of the sentence together correctly with connectors and punctuation. I did put a link in the handout with a review of connectors and the types of connectors. I gave some examples of conjunctive adverbs. I typed out a little bit of a lesson where the conjunctive adverb can be placed in the sentence, and I typed in 15 sentences as an exercise. So you can look at those, and I will send you the answer key. And then the second exercise is trying to finish a sentence using a conjunctive adverb and completing the sentence and adding the punctuation. So it does take a little bit of an effort. That is a little bit of a professor voice. Instead of but, use however. Instead of and, use in addition. Instead of so, use therefore, consequently, as a result. And so developing an academic writing style involves using formal transitions, which you may not use in conversation. But when you're writing, you can use them to have an elevated writing style. It says the same thing in a different way. Make sure you understand where a semicolon or a period would go, and a comma always follows in addition, in contrast. For example, consequently, the comma comes after, and is just part of the punctuation of conjunctive adverbs. I did look up the dictionary definition of the conjunctive adverbs. Sometimes students don't really know what they mean, and so they don't use them. And the dictionary does have a pronunciation guide with it. You can click on the speaker and hear it. There are examples of sentences in the dictionary to make sure you are using higher level transitions correctly, because rather than avoiding conjunctive adverbs, exploring the meaning of them and using them correctly will help you develop your writing style. Okay, so then I included the 10 sentences for the sentence completion exercise, and I would ask you to finish that and email it to me. I will check it, give you feedback, and try to return it. So that includes my my notes. I have been trying to think how I can help you improve in your writing. I made the suggestion of writing journals, and so journals would complete your 20 in-class activities. Of course, we're not in class now, so we did practice when we were there for the first 4 weeks of class, and I did give students classwork grades for practice. It is necessary to practice writing because it's a habit that gets easier if you formulate your ideas, record your ideas. Grammar is not important in journals. I don't check the grammar. So formulating ideas and writing little paragraphs or pages will be helpful in practice writing so that it becomes easier. It's a nice habit to follow through. So check your email. I will send you the link to this video, and I'll be happy to design a lesson. I prepared the grade book in Canvas, so those are the grades. I am typing in the 0 grades, but you do have another chance to complete those assignments. I'll get rid of the zeros and type in your grades. So take advantage of this opportunity. Don't have to enroll in English 111 again, and let me know what questions you have about the assignments. I'll be checking your email. Take care.